Part of my 1, 2, 3 punch is podcasting. But one of the huge questions is, how do you start a podcast from the beginning? You have a great podcast idea, you just don't know how to get started. Let's go over the 7 basic steps to get your podcast on the airwaves. In this video, we're going to cover the 7 basic steps to get your podcast up and running. What can you do right now to stack the deck in your favor, even if you don't have a microphone? And what are the technical things you're going to have to know just to produce your podcast? We'll cover that starting now. So, you want to start a podcast. Well, quite a few got started during the COVID pandemic when we were all at home for 2 weeks to flatten the curve. But as soon as people started going back to work, all those podcasts, save maybe 1 or 2 of them, disappeared. The podcast zone is wide open. People enjoy podcasts, people love listening to podcasts, but what's your topic going to be? And like I've said in previous videos, start with the basic 3. 1, what are you interested in? 2, what are you good at? And 3, what are people looking for? If there's an audience and you fit that first 2 criteria, chances are you're going to do very well. So, what is the topic? Something that you're interested in, something that you're good at, something that you enjoy talking about. Especially when it comes to your business podcast, you're already talking about it. What are people coming to you for already? What have they asked in the store or in your office? What kind of emails do you get? Those are loaded with questions. Start answering them. And of course, they're asking you about your business, so chances are you already know a lot about it, right? And I would hope that you're passionate about it. Why are you in the business if you're not? Picking the topic is going to be something that's going to sustain you. And without a sustaining podcast, it's going to fizzle out very quickly and you're not going to see the benefits. It takes time to build up to what's actually going to happen with your podcast. So don't give up too soon. So you need to know that there's longevity in it. Second consideration, decide on a format. Is this going to be a storytelling podcast? Is it going to be solo? Will you just be in front of the microphone teaching, discussing products, discussing services? Or are you going to have a co-host? Now, the co-host can do a couple different things. They can keep things rolling. They can give you an opportunity to riff off of someone, make it sound like that there are actually 2 people there. That can have a completely and totally different dynamic. Not to be confused with the interview style. Is there going to be somebody sitting across from you that you can interview about, say, complementary products or services or something like that? Let's say if you're an attorney, do you want to interview financial planners? Not other attorneys. You don't want them taking your clients. So go with a complementary subject that goes with what you're doing. Now this one, step 3, takes a little bit of noodling. We're going to start with the name of the podcast and your branding. And that covers a huge range of things, okay? Some people simply entitle it, for me, let's call it the Nic Natarella Podcast. You know how long it took me to come up with that one? Then there are others that come up with a benefit-laden title that kind of speak to your audience about what they're going to learn or experience or hear whenever you have a new episode. How is that going to go? So spend some time on that because that is going to be critical and that's going to be the launching place for all of your subjects, all of your topics, all of your guests, whichever format you decide to go with. That's going to be crucial because that's where you plant your flag in the sand and it's going to establish your longevity. And then take it a step further. Your branding goes into your podcast logo. What colors are you going to use? How is this going to play out in, letterhead, documents, website, promotional material? All that stems from your name and your branding, and it all goes from there. It's a simple decision. It seems like a simple decision, but has far, far-reaching ramifications. Don't take it lightly. If you feel like you're itching to get those episodes out there, but you haven't figured this part out yet, get it figured out. It's easier to make adjustments before you even start than to make adjustments when you're going downstream. It's easy to change direction in an ocean. It's not easy to change direction on a river. One of the simple things is equipment. And the reason why I say it's simple is because it's just equipment. It's buttons, knobs, switches. This is stuff that you can pick up and you can deal with and learn and get better at very, very quickly. The learning curve is pretty quick when it comes to the equipment. Now, what you do with it, that's a whole nother animal. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. But for now, you're obviously looking at, I don't know, maybe a microphone? Start there, and that probably can be a USB microphone that plugs directly into your computer. Don't complicate the issue. One of my biggest pieces of philosophy, and if you've seen any of my videos, I've said this over and over and over again. If buying something is standing in your way, start with the freebie. Yes, there are microphones probably built into your computer, probably built into your webcam. And that's another thing you might want to consider. If you record in video, you can always peel off the audio to make your podcast. If you decide to go back and make a YouTube video out of it, you're either going to go back and re-record, or you just start where you left off and start editing. Something to consider, and one of my foundational philosophies. But for the podcast, you'll need a microphone. You could probably do it in the webcam. You could probably do it in the computer. You probably need a little tiny box to go with it. You plug the microphone into the little box. The little box is an interface to your computer. If you notice, on the back of a microphone are 3 prongs. There's no 3 prongs on your computer. Somehow it's got to be converted, probably to USB. That's what that little box does. And then there's another cable that comes out of it and goes into the back of the computer. That's a USB. You're up and running. Now, when it comes to recording software, another very simple program is probably already in your computer. And again, if you record it in video, that audio will be recorded as well. All of that is going to be free, assuming you have a computer already. If any of this is making sense, be sure to click like or subscribe and get my future videos. But if it's not making sense, ask your question down in the comments. I read them all and I will get back to you with an answer. So now that you've got all your equipment set up, and hopefully it won't be a lot to get started, now that you've got it set up and you're ready to record, recording and editing is probably, I don't know, you might think it's tedious. You might think it's time consuming. You might think this is really boring or I can't possibly do it. Me personally, audio and audio editing is my sandbox. That's where I started. I absolutely love it. I've been on the radio, done audiobooks, tours, museum tours, narration. That's me. I've done that stuff before. And editing is my playground. I have fun with that part. You might feel like it's like pulling teeth. I get it. But remember, to begin with, it's very, very, very simple. To record, simply hit record. Go ahead and say what you want to say. Any mistakes you make, I'll give you a quick little hint. If something goes wrong and you need to start again, do this. That little sound is going to put a spike in the audio. And when you come down to editing, all you have to do is look for the spikes. Very simple. Then when it comes to editing, you find the spike, you listen to the mistake. Oh yeah, that was my mistake. This is what I want. Highlight that, hit delete. You're good to go. Let's not get fancy. Let's not freak everything out. Let's get you on the air. That's what I want to do. I want to get you started and up and running. And this is the simplest, easiest way to do it. Start recording and just cut the flubs. Now, what's the next step? Hosting it. Hosting your podcast is a slightly confusing animal, but it's very, very easy once you find out what's behind the curtain. What you do is you choose a podcast host, and that's where you're going to upload your content. But how do I get it onto YouTube? How do I get it onto Spotify? How do I get it onto iTunes and Apple Podcasts? How do I get it to all these places and Libsyn? That's the job of the host. Those hosts, you upload it once to their servers. Their servers are then connected to all those other places. And as a little side note, win the Apple side. Once you win the Apple side, you're good to go. Any type of promotions, which is step number 7, any type of promotions, focus it on that until you start gaining traction. Yeah, you can mention the other places where they'll find you, but if you win the Apple side, you're going to win in the podcast. Now, I've got one more thing for you. It's totally free. You can download it right now, as a matter of fact. Click the link below and get your free report, Engaging Your Audience. The 3 secrets to skyrocket your podcast success. I hope you enjoy it. Again, I'm Nic Natarella. Thanks for watching.